Hi traders and welcome to the Technical Analysis Market Watch on Friday the 1st of August. So the new start of the month is going to give us some pretty exciting moves. I think the earnings season is nearly over and we have seen some really strong moves over the last couple of days. So we'll jump straight into the charts and see if we can identify any trades for today or early into next week. All right, we'll start out here with the Aussie USD, and we can see that we've had a very solid period of selling ever since it hit that high at around that sort of 620 mark. It's done nothing but sell over the last week and a half, and realistically, it's been a pretty easy one to get into. You can go to any time frame you like on the smaller time frames, and you're going to see a series of lower highs and lower lows. So here it is on a 1 hour. As you can see, it hit that top and then down it came. 20 moving average, 20 moving average, 20 moving average, and 50 moving average. And there again, very easy trading all the way down effectively to the base that we've got now. It was the same on the 15-minute. So any of these trades were really easy trades to get. You can see right through there, all of the lower high, lower low sequences that we talk about every single week. Pull back to the 20 moving average, knowing that the trend is obviously down and pushing down. All you need to do is get on board every time it pulls back, and it gave us a really easy trade. I think a lot of people made some pretty good trades on the Aussie, so well done on that, because I've seen the messages and it was a very easy and comfortable trade. So good work. Where it goes to now, look, it's getting very close to the resistance or the support that's going to be resistance for it at some stage is around this level here. So we can see that we've got a lot of resistance through this point. Okay, we've touched it several times, many price interactions right through here, and it was support at that level there before it bounced off. So we're talking about this level here at around that sort of 64-cent mark. It's not very far away from that. We're really only talking about 20 odd pips away from that zone. If that zone happens to break, there is another very strong level of support at around the 62.50 area, but we're talking about a long way away at the moment. Like that's quite a bit away. So this will be interesting. We'll see if the 64-cent mark can hold. I would expect more than likely, unless it was catastrophic, we'd probably see some sort of a rebound from this point, or at the very least some consolidation. But really good trading. I'm glad a lot of people got hold of that. But the next zone is not quite finished yet, I don't think. I think we've still got a little bit more to go before we find some real support. And at that point, we'll look for a reversal. And if we see a series of higher highs and higher lows, we'll aim for these little mini boundaries in the middle of this channel around that sort of 64.50 mark. That would be the ideal marker. But a break of that, of course, and we're looking at 62.50 as the next target, which is quite a significant way away. So really good trading on the Aussie. All right, US dollar CAD, strength to strength, no real surprises here. This has been marked up for a while. As you know, the MACD was rising very steadily over the last couple of months, and it finally broke through this week and broke through that resistance. It was very heavy resistance that it broke through there at 137, sort of 80-ish. And then off it went, continued on straight into every target that we've got here is a liable target for a take profit, really. It's been very strong. You can see that all the candles are relatively equal to the move has been sustained and powerful off a very good base. I think this was just a great trade. This is Technical Analysis 101. The 20 and the 50 moving average crossover are about to happen. It's not too far away from that now. And again, if you go to any of the smaller time frames that we talk about all the time, the 1 hour there is technical perfection. You could write a course on the way that one went up, and you can see the pullbacks to the 20 all nicely, evenly flowed straight up. You could not possibly miss those trades. And the 15-minute chart is the same. So really what I'm saying is whatever time of day that you chose to trade this, and whatever period over that period, you would have been able to find some trades. Look at the 15-minute, exactly the same. Okay, absolute trading bonanza. So I know a lot of people got involved in that one as well, which is great. It means that people are paying attention and taking advantage of some of the things we're teaching here in these videos, which really makes me happy. That's amazing. Look, right now, it's obviously approaching a level where it might find a little bit of resistance. It could find resistance here. There is a fair bit of it. Or the next level will be at around this sort of 139.50 to 139.80 area. If we see a bit of a rollover at this point, it's not the end of the world. In fact, the pullback to the 20 moving average and these highs over here would actually be a good thing. So that wouldn't be a bad problem at all to have. And then I'd be looking for the break of this zone as well, and then pushing up to the 139.80 to 140 level, which I think is the next serious target for this one. I think there's no reason why the momentum wouldn't continue, but a pullback, don't be scared of that. I think a pullback would help here, especially if it was a shallow one to around this level here, around the 137.80 to 137.50. If the 20-minute moving average catches up, that's even better again, and then off it goes. So really good trading on the CAD. All right. US dollar yen also hit its target. It's been a great week as well. I'll go one more time. I'll go to the smaller time frames to show you how easy it was. All the way up, pullbacks all the way through. Okay, for the week, you can see them going up. Very, very straightforward. 15-minute shows the same channel. You can see it all the way up. You have to go back a bit more, of course, because it's a lot longer period. But again, the very straightforward trading that we do, that we look at. That's what I'm trying to emphasize, the fact that it's the basic stuff that works. You know, the stuff that we talk about all day, every day. It's the stuff that works to get you into these trades. Really, really straightforward. Good to see that it hit its target. 150.80, love that level. Bounce off the 20 moving average, trading 101, powerful week. Look, it's at resistance now, no question about that. Most of the things we're talking about today are at resistance and have hit their resistance. So it's just a matter of seeing if they can break through on the first hit. So if we see a little bit of a reversal at this point, a really, really good pullback zone will be down to 148.80. That would be ideal. That would be no problem at all, especially if it comes down to these highs. If it does break through on the next hit and keeps going, I would wait for it to turn around and touch that level before I go any longer. I think the meat of this trade has happened already, and I wouldn't want to be pushing too much further without a pullback of some significance to give us a bit more action. Not really interested on the short because obviously there's too much momentum on the strong at the moment, so looking for long opportunities only there. All right, dollar index. The all-important dollar index has finally broken through this week. It really smashed up through the boundaries that were set at around that sort of 98.80. Had a really, really good week, and it's continued on in this session. Still pushing up to that 100. .50 level that we're really interested in. So very, very strongly. There's nothing really to say about this except that it's doing all the things we wanted it to do. And the euro is the one we're going to focus on, of course. That's the main one that you're going to trade. But really, really positive signs for the dollar. And you can see that's reflected in the currencies that we've just seen that have taken a lot of power out of this move. But the euro, of course, is the one that we would normally trade on as the inverse of the dollar index, and it is getting absolutely smashed. It's broken down. It's all but it doesn't. Look, you got to look at the patterns for what they are, and that is at this point here, although it's not exactly a double top because you say, oh, they're not exactly equal, they are extraordinarily close to being equal, right? You're talking about a pip or two, a very, very, very small amount. That's a double top, for all intents and purposes. And you've had massive divergence on it. So it's a class B bearish divergence, double top at a level of very heavy resistance. So it was a good trade, is what I'm trying to say. And then once it did come down and broke past that support zone, which was resistance previously, it was in a great deal of trouble. Where it stops, realistically, probably the next support zone that you give it any significance on is around that sort of 113. That's probably the level that you'd be aiming for. And it's amazing that we're talking about this as, it was only a couple of weeks ago. It was back up at 118 and pushing up. It's moving very, very quickly, and MACD has gone into the negative. So I look at this and think to myself, we've got still a little bit more to go. It could pull back a little bit in the trend and then push on forward. That's probably healthy for this downtrend. So keep an eye on it, but I would not be looking for longs in any way, shape, or form on this one yet until we get a series of higher highs and higher lows on a daily. Again, I think this is going to start to feel a little bit of pain. But the next solid target would be around the 113. But don't be surprised if it pulls back a little bit first and finds a little bit of a stop gap, and then maybe it might give us an opportunity to jump in on that. All right, and the S&P 500, look, this has had a big day down. Look, there's no question about that. Hit an all-time high again, which is nearly standard practice for each day now. But it certainly came off those highs, and that's a pretty reasonable move down too, actually, given the daily events. Look, there's tariff risk. There's uncertainty around what the tariff deals are looking like. There's still very big earnings to come out. So this is still one you have to trade with a lot of trepidation. You've got to be really careful with the S&P. Look for shorting opportunities and longing opportunities that give you a scalp in and out. You don't want to be in there very long at the moment until we get some stability and we see full results. We want to make sure that we're looking at really short-term trades that you can get in and out of without the volatility risk. 20 moving average is probably the target I'd be looking for, and the 6300, that would be my target if you're looking for scalping opportunities down. And if it finds a bit of support there, then look, the all-time high at around that sort of 6420 to 6300 is the level that I'd be playing in this one until we get something more definitive with a daily close. But just trade with caution with this one because there's still quite a bit to do. We've still got another week of volatility, really, with so much information coming out. So I hope you had a great week's trading. We've had some fantastic moves on the currencies that we always look at. So hopefully you're able to take advantage of some of those. Have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you all next week.